When we've got to 15 minutes, I'll flash at my fingers like this and try and attract your attention.
Okay,
Yeah?
thank you. So, good morning everyone. I'm Huda and I'm presenting a paper that I co-authored with Dr. Vicky and other great individuals and scholars. This is the official title, but a more understandable title would be a case study on the way in which CES, Computational Archival Science, can be used to contribute to a novel approach towards detecting fake videos. So what we're proposing here is, I just have to check the sound for a moment. So what we're proposing is extending current approaches used to detect fake videos by incorporating the perspective of archival science and namely archival diplomatics. So our research proposed extending it by first looking at what does fake videos means in the context of archival science and diplomatics. What does it mean actually from the perspective of research in computer engineering, and putting together a typology based off these two examinations to categorize fake videos, our own typology, and tests to detect it, and then human tests to validate this typology. I think needless to say that this information in videos is a big problem. Accessibility of editing softwares, low barrier to publishing on social media accelerated the spread of videos carrying misinformation. And we had this special issue of Scientific American warning us about the toxic misinformation that's happening on unprecedented scale. So we're a team of practitioners, academic researchers from archival science, digital diplomatics, digital forensics, computer science, and engineering. And we started by analyzing 12 different case studies of fake videos from different geographies, from different contexts, on different social media platforms. And as we were looking at these fake videos, we started looking at how so far people from computer engineering are trying to analyze, to address issues of detecting fake videos. And what we found is that they mainly focus on the content of the video. They do content analysis of the videos, as opposed to the way that archival science and diplomatics would look at records such as videos, and the focus on the context that we have. As we know, archival science identification, analysis, and description of the context of record plays an important role in protecting its authenticity and establishing its evidentiary value and interpreting its meaning. So we have seen value then applying concepts for archival science and archival diplomatics to enhance existing approaches that focuses on content, and see how incorporation of context could change the way that detecting fake videos are being approached. So we thought that our best plan would be generating classification of fake videos, and then a model to detect different types of fake videos, and then prototype a solution. And this is a human-in-the-loop, we envisioned as a human-in-the-loop framework. So we looked at concepts of trustworthiness of a record. We started looking at what it means in videos, the trustworthiness of a record, what accuracy, reliability, authenticity mean for these online videos. And special attention to two characteristics of a record from diplomatics persons. Who are these persons, and what are the different contexts of these videos? So I think Nate mentioned context a little bit. This is different visualization, just for change. And it started becoming interesting when you go deeper into the different extrinsic and intrinsic elements of documentary form that belongs to the documentary context. This is where you see people are interested to manipulate things to spread misinformation. So this mapping was interesting for us to put our hands on where mainly things are being manipulated to spread misinformation. So for example, in this video from Nancy Pelosi, it's a short video, I'm gonna show it, and I'm gonna tell you how these things relates back, how this examination of concepts of archival diplomatics relates back to these fake videos.
But when compared to the Washington Post's verified feed of the same event, it is clear the Facebook video is playing at 75% of the original speed.
We want to give this president the opportunity to do something historic for our country. We want to give this president the opportunity to do something historic for our country.
So this shows, for example, on how in this specific instance of a video, the verified and altered one, how the playing with the frame rate, which is an extrinsic element of the video, affect the documentary form, which is part of the context, which is part of the identity of a record, which affect authenticity, which relate to trustworthiness. And that was kind of interesting to see how, from the case studies that we studied, things are being manipulated mainly happens in the documentary context. True, the font also matters, but it was yeah, I think an interesting observation. So precedent work, and then we thought, okay, now it's time to find a typology for fake videos. So precedent work focused on talking heads, and some of them focused on how would you identify the intention of the creator of the video to say whether it's actually a fake video or not. Some of them focused on just give photo manipulation or video manipulation one of the categories in the typology. Yeah, so talking heads, they excluded some genre of videos such as natural disasters and protests. Some of them they inferred on the intention of the creator, as I said. So to address it, we included other genres of videos that were excluded from other research. We focused on any video that was edited, manipulated, fabricated, or where information has been omitted, so it changes the message communicated. And we stayed away from guessing what's the intention of the creator to decide whether it's fake or not. So our conclusion was that every video consists of 3 components, and it's the inconsistencies between these components that renders a video as maybe fake or maybe not, it depends, because the human being has to look at it again and see whether it's actually fake or not. But mainly inconsistencies between one video or between 2 videos, as we've seen in the Nancy Pelosi example, is what really flags that a video is fake or that there's something wrong with the video. And then we came up with this 3x3 matrix of tests. They also consist our typology. So for example, so you have visual audio metadata in one video, and if there is a near duplicate, they also compare the visual audio metadata of the near duplicate to the original one. So for example, in a visual test where you're testing whether the visuals are inconsistent with each other, this is an example from a Fox News report that reporting on a specific protest. And the footage from protest was cut and placed to another footage of another well-attended protest to make it look like it was much more attended. So this would be a kind of an example that a VV test or a visual inconsistency test would actually detect whether the video is fake or something wrong with it or not. I'm not sure if we have time to play a video, but I think I'm gonna just, yeah, I think it's a short one.
Fox News was there to cover.
People didn't just come to hear speakers. They then pivoted, fanned out, went into the Capitol, went into the office buildings, were very polite, went from door to door to door, knocked on the doors. We handed out actual pages from the bill.
I'm sorry, can we get back? I apologize, I didn't mean to interrupt. That was weird. Because when that clip started, it was a clear fall day in Washington, D.C. Not a cloud in the sky, the leaves have changed. It's well attended with sparse. All of a sudden, the trees turn green again, and it's cloudy,
obviously this is what we mean actually by a visual inconsistency check, or a test to check visual against visual. Another example, if you were to check a visual against the visual of another near duplicate like Nancy Pelosi's one, this is in our typology, this is a visual inconsistent video. It would be tested by a VV test or a visual against visual test. So a visual against audio inconsistency, where you have a visual that actually saying something, but then audio was overlaid, for example, on it. So this is an example of it.
Oh, surprise! I have some pretzels for you.
You know what you just said? You're cheery. I'm always like this. Oh, yeah, sure. You're certainly not going to be. Where can I see you bad company? Can't wait.
So a metadata against metadata inconsistency check would look for the metadata associated with the video, whether it's on YouTube or social media, and compare whether the title, for example, fits matches the description, whether the geotag matches the title of the video. And then an audio against audio inconsistency check would look for any inconsistency between the audio of one video or of two videos, again, if there's any duplicate. So this is an example. This is obviously like an audio being imposed over a visual that do not really belongs to it. So the test that the 2 rounds of tests that the video would go through in order to detect whether it's fake or authentic, or whether there's inconsistency of any kind in its elements, would be first an internal consistency check, where you check for inconsistency in the metadata. First of all, like the metadata associated with the video. Do they actually contradict with each other somehow? Like date of publishing is different from the description underneath the video. And then if this is, and then afterwards, the step 2 is to check between inconsistency between the data, audio, and visual, as in the examples that we've seen. If there is a near duplicate video, such as the example of Nancy Pelosi, where they played with the frame rate, after both of them go through round 1 to check metadata, audio, and video, they would actually go through a comparison between the metadata of each of the 2 videos, the instance and the other instance, and then compare between metadata, audio, and visual components of both of them. So the goal will be to establish an alert that a human viewer receives, indicating that there is something wrong. If anything is wrong while doing these checks, the steps would actually flag that there is something wrong with it. So will the test help actually people detect fake videos? That's what we're trying to measure with a human test, where we have two groups, so one control, one intervention. One of them we see fake videos and then ask them to classify whether they think it's fake or not. The other one is an intervention group, get introduced to the different inconsistencies categories that we've created, and let them actually watch the 8 videos and report back on whether or not it's actually authentic or fake. So basically, I acted as a fake video bot for a week, producing 14 fake videos. And then to eliminate bias, that maybe the participants will have seen this video of Nancy Pelosi before, so they know that it's fake. And then to eliminate low-level clues that participants might use to identify the fake videos, I created like a YouTube-like interface. And then to eliminate order bias of viewing the videos, because maybe every time when they see a specific video after another one, there's a prime that it's fake. So randomization for the order of the video, so each participant will receive a video with a completely different arrangement of fake and original videos. Yeah, and then I think we're in the final stages of finalizing this test. It's going to be a remote test, and we're looking forward to collecting the data and analyzing it. So our future work, or like as we said, like we envision that after this human test to see whether the categorization or the familiarization with different categories help people flag if it's something is fake or authentic. We will design automated techniques to conduct the tests in the context of a human-in-the-loop system, and the goal would be to establish an alert for, again, a human viewer. We don't imagine that a machine would do it on their own, but a human would be involved in actually this loop. So yeah, that's basically it. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's really interesting work. What I'm intrigued about the fact is that how is this different from deepfake? Is it a part of the deepfake?
Yeah, deepfake would fit under. So deepfake basically would fit under all the 6 categories because it's completely manipulated. If the deepfake is based on an original footage that being attached to another footage that's being deepfaked, let's say Obama, first part of the speech is true, but then they make up a second one, it's gonna be like a visual to visual, visual to audio inconsistency, and metadata as well. So they fit within the test, and it depends on how much true original footage has been deployed to create this deepfake.
So do you use the similar neural networks for your research?
We haven't started this phase yet of teaching the machines to do it, but yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For your question. Thank you.
Another quick question, or should we move on? Nope. Should we move on to the next